Hi everyone, it's Amber Love, and today I'm talking about Dark Avengers issue 16. And in this particular episode, there will be plenty of spoilers. Now, I say plenty, but not really a whole lot happened in this particular issue. But I'm going to talk about the actual details anyway. I don't know if it's just me, but it felt like it took forever for Dark Avengers to reach its conclusion. I think it's because that we're at issue 16. And I believe that if Marvel had done 12 issues, taking, exactly a year, and then done 4 parts of Siege, I think it would have made a lot more sense, and it would have sort of at least felt better to me. I didn't pick up Siege, even though everybody's raving about it, I understand. But, to me, I'm like, well, I'm reading Dark Avengers, and that's the team behind all of this. What on earth could I possibly miss? Well, I could miss stuff like Ares dying, or Sentry dying, and it's like, Sentry was such a critical part of this team, and his death was not in this book. So, needless to say, I'm a little bit peeved about that. Okay, not a little bit. A whole heck of a lot peeved about that. Moving on. Anyway, so that's my major problem. Batshit crazy Norman Osborn. He's finally been arrested by none other than Captain Steve Rogers. No longer Captain America, Steve Rogers. I guess Bucky is the only one to wield the shield at this point. So Captain Steve Rogers incarcerates Norman Osborn, who, by the way, still feels that he's absolutely 100% right, and that the world should be giving him, all of the power, and just have everything at his disposal, because he's the only one who can stop whatever catastrophe he believes is coming. Yeah, they're not gonna do that. He's very soundly locked up. Well, soundly for the people outside his jail cell. Inside his jail cell, poor Norman is still being tormented by his Green Goblin self. He's, got these crazy-ass visions and stuff going on in his head, and even with the calm demeanor that he's presenting, I have a feeling that life isn't very calm for Norman. Now, his partner in crime has been Victoria Hand. Victoria gets, led away as well by Steve Rogers, and, she's the exact opposite. She's just filled with remorse. She's afraid that she's betrayed her country and her planet, ultimately, and that, she's just made the biggest mistake that a person could possibly make when she only had good intentions. She always felt that she was doing good. She felt that she was trying to get Norman help, and, that she's just done nothing but fail miserably. But as it turns out, she's offered a job. So even though she thought that, her life was basically over, she's actually given a second chance. I thought that was kind of a nice touch. Now, I've kind of been saying that I'm a fan of the artwork, but there's always been something that's bothered me about it, and I finally figured out what it is. Deodato has a very computerized style, and I think that's because he's relying heavily on computer programs for his art design. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, I'm just saying that that's what it is, and I measure that differently. So while I'm reading Dark Avengers, I actually felt like I was looking at screenshots of a video game. Now, when I'm looking at video game art, I look at that separately, and I consider, the beautiful things that you see in, Red Dead Redemption or, Prince of Persia. Those things are beautiful, but they deserve their own genre. I don't want to see video game art in my comic books. And I'm not saying that to be some sort of elitist snob by any means. I just know that there are so many artists out there, and I'm just becoming more and more critical of this. I guess a lot of it has to do with, just A, curiosity. People are trying out new tools to learn, and B, how on earth to get this many books out in a timely manner. And I think that there's just so much pressure to do that, and so many people out there looking for jobs in comics that, it's the competition involved there is just making people take shortcuts and advantages wherever possible. So I think in this case, the computerized elements of it really were what bothered me. Maybe they don't bother you, because they are pretty pictures, very, very pretty. I mean, when I see Dakin, no matter what panel he's in, I know it's Dakin. When I see Victoria, I know it's Victoria. So it's, like I said, it's not that it's bad. I just think that it should be judged differently. So as far as, my synopsis of issue 16, I really don't think there's any reason for you to get it other than for some closure. If you've been getting Dark Avengers up to this point, then sure, there's no reason to not pick up the last issue. Sorry, what's going on here with this hair? I don't know. But that's really the only reason. Now, as far as where my Marvel reading will go, now that Dark Avengers is over, I've asked around, and instead of just picking up another Avengers title or adding something brand new like Young Allies, what I'm going to do is actually take a step back. I've asked people what they like, and hands down, the most often recommended title that people give me is Guardians of the Galaxy, which I've never read. So now I have a giant Guardians of the Galaxy pile in my to-read pile, and I will be getting caught up on that. So thanks for joining me. As always, be sure to leave your feedback and comments. And if you have any questions, of course, feel free to send those my way as well. Don't forget to subscribe before you log out, and see you next time.